I might be completely unqualified to share this video. I teach this stuff and I still struggle with it every single day. So if you're anything like me, don't think that watching a YouTube video on how to accept and love your body is just gonna happen overnight. This is a lifelong journey. I have not met a woman who doesn't have body image issues, and most of them struggle with eating too, having a healthy relationship with eating. So this is kind of a big deal. There's toxic money beliefs running through the whole system. My name's Amity Rose from amityrose.co. I am a women's empowerment coach and certified hypnotherapist. The whole channel is devoted to empowering women to remember their worth, their value, and their power. And I teach this to women. I work with clients on this, yet I still struggle. And I'm very open about it. I'm telling you, it's a big deal and something that some of us may struggle with for a long time. I'm gonna share with you my own personal experience and from working with women, what I've learned, and hopefully it can help you. But the road isn't easy, my friends. It's long and it's hard, and it is something you have to work at every single day. Because how often do you eat? How often do you get dressed? How often do you pass a mirror or a window or see your reflection in some way? Every damn day, multiple times a day. So you are constantly being reflected back to you, your inner feelings of non-acceptance. So this is something that you're gonna have to rewire yourself every minute of every day, every time you get triggered. Oh, and my favorite, which is, for some of us, awful. If you go shopping, if you go to put some new clothes on and you look in the mirror and it's pretty painful. You certainly don't look the way that you had envisioned yourself to look when you try on these new clothes. And how many times have you walked out of the store not buying anything because everything looked like shit? And I've had other times where everything worked, it looked great and I bought it, but more often than not, I felt worse leaving that dressing room than I did before. And if that's your experience, then, watch for a little bit. I may have some gems for you, but this is just an honest woman's opinion, my experience, some things I learned, and I hope it helps you on your healing journey, because this is a healing journey. All right, guys, let's review the definition of acceptance. There's actually 3, and I think the one that applies to us here is the willingness to tolerate a difficult or unpleasant situation. And our bodies, or our body size, being the difficult and unpleasant situation. So we're looking at tolerance, right? How do we accept something that we don't like? And I've got a few ideas, so stick with me. The first being, why can't you look the way that you do? Like, where's the resistance? What is there? I'm gonna use me an example. I am carrying about 20 more pounds than I would like to, and why can't I be 20 pounds more than I want to? Like, what is there? And I really invite you to I had to sit with that myself, like, why is it wrong? Why is it not okay? And it really took me a while. I didn't have a reason. And then when you do start coming up with reasons, my invitation is, does that come from within you or is that externally? So if your answer is like, so I'll be accepted, or so someone will find me attractive, those are responses based on other people's thoughts and what they think about you. It's not coming from you. And thankfully, my own responses were all me responses. But I want you to notice if yours are actually coming from your preferences, what you truly desire, or what you believe other people desire, or what society expects, or what a partner might want from you. Because you want to pay close attention to, like, who's the source of this? Is it you? So using me an example, it is me. So I have 3, I'm fucking uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable in this body. It's heavy. It's not very comfortable for me to stand. It literally pulls on my joints. I can feel the weight of my body and I don't enjoy it. That's a me thing. That's not about anyone else, but that's a me. I'm physically uncomfortable carrying this extra weight. And I don't particularly like the way that clothes look on me. I don't really love getting dressed. I don't love going shopping. I don't like putting on clothes. I don't like having to get dressed to go outside because, you know, you can be a little bit more comfortable in your own house, right? A little bit more like casual or messy or sloppy or, you know, however you dress at home. It's not the same as when you leave. So when I have to get dressed to leave, it's stressful because there's a presentation, you know, that I want to show, and also a comfortableness in my body. And how do you reflect that? How do you show that when you're not actually comfortable in your body? So it's this really like fine line to navigate. And how do you find that comfort in a body that you're uncomfortable in? And that's the work. And that's not anything I can do for you. That's something that you have to do for yourself. And then tagging on this, what if I gave you permission, it was okay for you to look how you look? Does that change anything? So if you look at yourself, your face, your body, your size, your weight, your shape, if I said right now, look into my eyes, I give you full and total permission to look exactly like you do. Like, does that change anything? Maybe. But the real key here is you giving your own self that permission. And that's kind of what we're doing, working on the acceptance, is that permission needs to come from you. You need to look at your own self in the mirror, look in your own eyes, and say, I give you permission to look exactly how you do. Because guess what? You already do look exactly like you do. So it's already happening, right? The only person that's not on board is you. Your body is already on board because your body is looking how it is, exactly how it is. You're the only one not on board. You're the one resisting. So my first kind of suggestion, take yourself to a mirror. And this can be really, really hard for people. And even I've burst out into tears doing this many, many times, because facing ourself, facing our own reflection and looking in these eyes. And you know what you're gonna feel if you're anything like me? It's pain. It's hurt, it's devastation, it's shame, it's guilt. That's what we're avoiding, and that's what we put onto our bodies, and we blame our body size for the feelings that we have, but the body didn't do anything wrong. These feelings exist, and because they exist within us, we blame the body for them. But if you can greet yourself in the eyes and say, I give you total and full permission to be exactly how you are, you now have joined teams with your body. And that's really been the issue the whole time. Your body is not the issue. Your resistance to what your body is doing is the issue. And that's where you feel the conflict, and that's where you feel the pain, is because you've got two opposing sides, body here, you here, and you're resisting. So as soon as you can just soften and allow yourself to be exactly where you are, a moment at a time. I'm not talking about lifetime. Get yourself in front of the mirror for this moment, for this second only. I give you permission to be how you are. And then just keep adding to those moments. Every time you get a chance to look in the mirror, look in a window, in the eyes, I give you permission to be exactly how you are. Over and over and over again. We learn by repetition, ladies. That's why you have the issues that you do. They've been repetitively programmed into you. So if you're going to counterbalance those issues, you've got to also match it with repetition. So you're gonna have to continue. It's not a one-time healing, it's an everyday healing. So as often and constantly as you can. Not even I love you, not even I accept you, none of that, because you might be a ways away from even getting there. But you meet yourself, and I give you permission to be exactly how you are, period. Over and over and over again. That will soften you and get you on the same side as your body. Then miracles can happen. Once the resistance is softened, things can actually change pretty rapidly. And this is gonna bring me into the second idea. You are in relationship with your body, the same way you're in relationship with your boyfriend or your sister or your children or your friends. It's a relationship. Now, do you always accept 100% of the time the things that these people say, do, their behaviors, how they act? Are you like just blanketly accepting everything that happens with them? I'm gonna tell you the answer. The answer is no, you're not. You're on board with some stuff, you're not on board with other stuff, you disagree. It's no different than with your body. So for us to think that it's just supposed to be this like beautiful relationship 100% of the time, that might exist, but I don't think for the majority of the population, and certainly not for the majority of women. So you've got to start looking at you being in a romantic, intimate, close relationship with your body. How do you treat it? How do you act? How do you care for it? And how would a partner respond to you if you treated it the way that you treat your body right now? Like, you've got to look at it that way. And it might change your behavior. If you mistreat or abuse your partner the way you mistreat and abuse your body, maybe by not eating properly, maybe by like negative self-talk, negative body shaming, like whatever, that's abuse. That's abuse. If you abuse a partner or a child or a friend in the ways that you abuse yourself, what would happen? And how do you think the dynamics of that relationship are gonna be? Things are not gonna be great, right? They're not really gonna like you that much. They're gonna rebel, they're gonna act out, they're gonna tell their friends, there's a whole domino of events that will happen based on how you treat it. So if you really take an honest look at how you treat your body, how well do you take care of yourself? Can your body trust you to take care of its needs, to love it? Like, if you can be the ideal partner to your body will respond, because your body is always responding to your thoughts. Your body hears every single thought you have. So when you say, I hate you, you're fat, you're ugly, and no one's gonna like you, your body hears those things on a cellular level and is responding. So it's a very, very big deal how you speak to yourself. And if you guys haven't caught my self-talk video, very, very, very important if that's something that you deal with. So you can check it out here. But your body listens and hears everything that you're saying. Be the ideal partner. Be the most amazing partner that you wish you had, and your body will change. It will immediately start responding differently. But if you can see yourself in relationship with your body and act accordingly, it's possible to have a really, really harmonious relationship. Do you know there's some people that are like so connected that they've got like ESP and they can finish each other's sentences and they have, ideas at the same time, or like all that can happen with your body. It's very, very possible. We're just so disconnected from that communication, especially if there's been any kind of like body dysmorphia or eating disorders, and there's a major, major breakdown in communication. So just beginning the healing process, if you can see yourself in relationship to your body and how can you be the best partner that you can be, things can radically change from there. The next idea, which I found in myself and basically 99% of my clients, so I think it might be something that most women deal with, the body image issues that we have, like the hate that we feel toward our body, is just a lighthouse to show us where our trauma lives. I mentioned it earlier about us kind of projecting onto the body, and then the body's not really doing anything wrong, but we have stored trauma. We have stored negative emotions. We have frustration, we have anger, we have guilt, we have shame, we have rage. We have these really dark, deep emotions. We have hate, evil, all of that. Like that, the human capacity to feel is extensive. And as a human being, you're capable of feeling anything along the emotional scale. We all are. And so we've been taught that a lot of things are inappropriate or negative, so we stuff them down, right? We don't express them, so they get stored in the body. And if you can catch, especially when you're triggered, if you cannot let that moment pass, but let's say you go to get dressed and you just hate what you see in the mirror. If you've got the time and you're safe in a safe space, explore that. What is so wrong with what you see in the mirror? Like, really go a little bit deeper. What's wrong with you? Why do you feel this hate? What is it? It's not because your legs are big or your butt's chubby. Like, that's a really surface level way of thinking. So what's beneath that? What does my legs being big, what does that mean about me? That might mean that I'm unattractive, okay? No one's gonna find me beautiful. Ouch, okay? What does that mean? What could happen in my life if nobody finds me beautiful? We'll go even deeper. People won't wanna be around me. I won't have the friends I want. I won't be invited to things. I'll kind of be just left out because I'm not accepted. I'm not seen as beautiful. Okay, then you're getting into like survival mode, because that's our primal instinct that gets triggered. If we feel like we're being outcast in any way, or we won't be included or acceptance, you've got fight or flight being triggered. You've got the primal survival instinct that you're triggered, and that can cause panic. That can cause anxiety. So from this simple thought of like, my legs are big, or I don't like what I see in the mirror, we're into panic. But if you follow the thoughts, you'll follow it to something deeper. So what does it mean if I don't have friends, if I'm not included in things? Well, it means I might not be able to provide for my family. I might not be hireable, and I won't have a paycheck, and then I won't be able to take care of my bills and my house and my children, and so my livelihood's at stake now. I want you to notice, guys, we started with the mirror reflection of my legs are big. And now if we follow it down, now we're at like, we won't be able to pay our bills or live or exist, right? So then if we go even further, then it's like I'll be completely outcast and maybe out on the street, or it's wild. It's wild where these thoughts go. But if you've got the space where you can really, in self-awareness where you can take yourself there, I invite you to go deeper than just staying surface level with like, I hate the way you look in the mirror, because there's more to it. There's always more to it. So if you let it be a lighthouse to your trauma, it will guide you to unhealed places within you, and then get the resources. Definitely get the resources that you need and the guidance and the tools to help you process that trauma. And then as soon as you process that trauma, the body doesn't need to hold it anymore. So let's say you healed and move some of the energy around that trauma with like the big legs. The next time you go in the mirror, you might feel a shift in energy, like, well, they're big, but they're not that bad, So it's a tough one, guys. I wish it was easier. And it might be for you, but it's definitely a long and hard journey. This has not been easy. It's probably been the most difficult relationship of my entire life. And it might be yours too. And if you feel that way, know that I am a sister on the road with you. Definitely. The last bit, I had a wonderful young lady reach out to me on my last version that I did about 2 years ago about accepting your body. You can check it out here. She mentioned how she's disabled. And one of the things I talked about was that your body works for you, like really feeling into the gratitude that your body shows up for you. And she wrote me and she said, my body doesn't show up for me. Like, how can you say that? What do I do? And I was really appreciative that she shared this perspective, because I don't have that perspective and that way of a disability. So that's why we're here, right? That's why we share with each other. So I really thought about it. I really pondered on it, like, what can I say to that? And Katie, this is for you and anyone else dealing with like a chronic illness or disability. And I wish it was, a better, more research response, but I don't have anything actually researchable to give you, except that on a spirit level, and I hope this serves you. If it doesn't, please disregard. But the only thing I could really come up with is, you think about people born disabled or amputees or blind, or the chronic illness or chronic pain, or as many tools that we have and as many teachers and guides that we have, I have to think and know and believe that there are certain things that are part of our destiny, our divine path, that they're just there because they're part of our purpose here. Like there are things that come with every disability, every illness, every, messed up mind thing. We all have it. It takes different forms in different humans, but we all have our own kind of challenges. And they're here for a reason. They are part of the reason we're here to learn, and something we may transform in this lifetime or not. But I can only tell you that your disability is your greatest teacher. You have it because there's something that you're meant to learn. There's something there, gems, gold, that you're meant to learn about yourself. You're meant to transform something inside. It's very personal to you. And sometimes these things are healed in a lifetime and sometimes they're not. But it is absolutely part of the reason that you came here into a human body at this time. This illness, this disability that you have is absolutely a part of that. So instead of fighting it, again, remember, like the resistance will get you nowhere. But if you get curious and you want to learn about it, so if you put your weapons down and you start to get really curious about, like, what's going on here? Why do I have this? What are you here to teach me? Even if you ask it, close your eyes, take a deep breath. What are you here to teach me? That opens the world to so much. Your whole world will open up. You're going to learn things about yourself. You're going to transform your personality. You're going to change as a human being. The way that you see the world, the way that you treat people. Like, it's radical how these things that we deem as challenges, and I'll use myself, this body image, it's been my entire life, guys. It's changed me as a person. It's influenced my work in the world. How I act, how I be, what I teach my children, how I work with my clients. My business is rooted in helping women love themselves exactly how they are. My whole reason for being, my business, my livelihood, my life's work, my passion is helping women reconnect to their power within. And then there they access love and acceptance and power. And they change the world. So if we want to look at, what if I didn't have this body image issue? How would that affect me? Where would I be? So I invite you also, how has this helped you? How has this transformed who you are as a person? I know it sucks and I know it's hard. I've spent many a days curled up on the floor bawling because I hated myself so much. It is the worst pain. But how has it transformed you? It changed the way I raise my kids. I have 2 daughters. It influenced their growing up. We tend to just want to think these things are bad and awful and there's no goodness to them, but there is, and I really invite you to find it. How has this served me? How has this helped me in some way? How am I better? How have I helped the world? How have I influenced other people? Because you have. There are good parts to your eating disorder, to your illness, to your chronic pain, to your overweightness, and you might not be in a headspace to find it, but I promise you, there is always goodness in everything. And the sooner you can find it, the sooner you can transform yourself. So it is with such a heavy heart, and this topic is just really the closest one. It's my biggest battle. My biggest, hardest battle, and I hope this helps you in some way. And it's a long path, but you can do it, and I'm here to walk it with you. If you're interested in becoming a client or you would want a guide on this work, I would be deeply honored to work with you on the healing path. You can get more info at the website. I love you. I'll see you next week.